Telecommunications are so ingrained in our daily lives, even artists are starting to express themselves about it and with it. In this telecom report, we look at telecoms as art and culture and as a tool to further art and culture.
A favorite topic of this futurologist is how culture will change with developments in technology, and vice versa.
Culture is a natural human need. We produce culture automatically. Technology is just a way of doing it in different ways. It just gives us more and more tools to play with. The technologies will get a lot better. It provides us more platforms in which to do things. You don't need to be rich to hire a local concert hall. You can just set up a little website and people can do it on there. So the costs are much, much less.
Transmission of desire.
Communications technology is both a theme and a device in a recent art show called NERD. The exhibit allowed people to interact with technology in a fictitious company in New York City.
The rest of the exhibit is sort of blanketed with radio frequency transmissions that people can tune into with radio receivers. That gives sort of the backstory of this Northern Electronics Research Division company and our exhibit within it. There's such an ease at which someone with my background and of my generation maybe is able to sort of employ those tools effectively. It's the most comfortable way that I would do any kind of communication, including art.
You just sort of live in this constantly transmitted reality. You can transmit your presence, you can email people. That's just sort of a way of life here. We're very digital.
Transmission of machines.
But because we're using communication technology, and specifically because I'm using RFID technology, that information travels very widely. Because not only are people in the arts world or the performance world, but also in the technology world are often very interested in what you're doing.
On a wider scale, art and performance that moves toward the internet and mobile technology will find fertile ground for growth, according to BT's futurologist.
That basic human need of cultural activity is generating a whole new reason for the technology to exist. And then once the technology exists, it enables more of the culture, and so it carries on, and it'd be a virtuous circle. And I think that the future, far from the internet wiping out culture by just diluting everything across the world, it'll encourage a great deal of cultural diversity. And I think we'll live in a much more culturally rich world in 20 years' time than the one we inhabit now.
The grandeur of the world's opera houses and theaters, imposing, perhaps a bit uninviting to today's youth. One way classical music is inviting new audiences in is through telecommunications.
We record our concerts live with some digital remastering, but a minimal amount. We make those full concerts available as a digital download. And you can download them on iTunes, you can download an entire concert, you can download an individual symphony, you can download a movement of a symphony, very much the way it works with popular music, downloading a song. And they're priced accordingly. With the recorded classical music, the sales had been dwindling. That was the sort of industry conventional wisdom of recent years. We think that digital downloading of classical music is spurring a new interest in recorded classical music.
The new way of distributing music put the New York Philharmonic at the top of classical music charts for several weeks. Better yet, the DG Concert Series was in the top 100 across all types of music.
We peaked at number 36 in the top 100 across all genres. On particular days, the New York Philharmonic's All Mozart download was higher than Madonna, Coldplay. So anecdotally to us, this was fantastic. I think that every record company before long will be looking at ways to convey music electronically. That certainly seems to be the future of recorded music. We're thrilled to be at the beginning of this movement, and we're eager to pursue additional projects, both audio and visual, that will bring the New York Philharmonic into people's homes, onto people's iPods, onto people's laptops. And I think there's a very bright future ahead, driven by technology.
The revolution in culture is not just in distributing, it's also in creating. A South African film is making history not only because it will be seen on mobile phones, but also because it was created. The whole thing was filmed using mobile phones.
People can use these mobile cameras to tell stories, which is that's the revolution, I suppose. That's the exciting thing, that you're giving the means of production, making it accessible to a whole lot more people.
The camera here on the Sony Ericsson gives such extraordinary results that it would be foolhardy not to go this way with cinema. It would be like, standing a few meters away from the top of Mount Everest and saying, well, I can't be bothered. Do you know what I mean? It's there. The technology has given us this possibility to take cinema a giant step forward. So not to do it would be just blind and foolish.
I think mobile technology for us is completely right, because everyone has a cell phone. Everybody has a mobile phone in South Africa. It is a technology where everybody can make calls on, but increasingly everyone has a camera on it and they can record imagery. And if you have an instrument that can record picture and sound, you can tell a story with that. So we were very intrigued about how to tell a story with everyday technology that would end up being distributed on mobile phones.
Where's the money?
You don't even know my real name.
In the lead up to the release of the film on mobiles in South Africa and in the cinema, we're going to make a call to the public to send in their own films that they've made on mobile phones and have a competition through that. And then to put the winning films up on the mobile network and let the people vote as to which films they think are the best.
The synergy here is so wonderful and so obvious and almost poetic that a network that purveys mobile phones and purveys mobile content can become involved in almost creating artists via the mobile medium.
Let's put this on a tripod after we've done the closes. Ultimately, it should have no bearing at all. You've got to see a movie. You want to see a damn good movie, and you want to be entertained, and you want to be enthralled and captivated and gripped for the 90 minutes of the film. And that's really what happens in this film. I mean, it grabs you by the throat and doesn't let go until it spits you out at the end. Having said that, I think the fact that it was shot on a mobile phone will make a tremendous amount of curiosity and interest in the film a priori, before it actually hits the cinema screens. So I think what we've done in terms of packaging and presenting the film to the world is we've created a groundswell of interest around the film, which will give a really strange, dark, unique film an opportunity to be seen by a much wider audience than would otherwise have been the case.
I'm a cat. I'm not a woman, I'm a cat. I'm not a woman, I'm a cat. I'm not a woman, I'm a cat. And cut.
Culture coming to the masses and culture coming from the masses. That's the future enabled by the mobile network. Thanks for watching this Telecom Report. See you next time.